The first time you see her, you're already bleeding. Not much, a cut on your palm from broken glass, nothing serious. You tell yourself that. You press your hand against the brick wall and breathe. The alley is quiet, too quiet for this city, too quiet for this hour. And then she's there. You don't hear footsteps. You don't hear anything. One moment, the space in front of you is empty, and the next, it isn't. She stands at the entrance of the alley in a black coat that doesn't move with the wind. Dark hair, pale skin, eyes that catch light that isn't there. She looks at you the way a chess player looks at the board, like she already knows how this ends. She doesn't ask if you're okay. She doesn't rush toward you. She doesn't react, because reaction implies surprise, and nothing surprises her. She just walks forward, measured, each step deliberate. The people on the street behind her move out of the way without realizing they're doing it. Like water parting, like something in their blood recognizes what she is before their minds do. She stops 3 feet from you, studies you. You should run. You know you should run. Something ancient in your chest is screaming at you to run. You don't move. You're bleeding, she says. Her voice is low, unhurried, like she has all the time in the world, because she does. I know, you say. She tilts her head a fraction of an inch. Interesting, she says, and then she's gone. You don't sleep that night. You tell yourself it's the cut. You tell yourself it's the adrenaline. You press your bandaged palm flat against the mattress and stare at the ceiling and know with complete certainty that you're lying to yourself. You think about her eyes, the way she looked at you. Not like prey, not exactly, like something rarer than that. Like a puzzle she hadn't expected to find interesting. By morning, you've convinced yourself it was nothing. By noon, you're walking back to that alley. You don't find her. Of course you don't. You ask around, carefully, without knowing what you're asking. You describe her, the coat, the stillness, the way people moved without knowing they were moving. The bartender at the old hotel on 5th looks at you for a long time before he refills your glass. You should forget what you saw, he says. What did I see, you ask. He doesn't answer. That night, you dream of dark corridors and candlelight and the sound of something very old moving through the walls. You wake up and you're not afraid. That's the part that worries you. Her name comes to you in pieces. A historian who goes pale when you mention her description. A collector of old things who closes his shop early when you show him the sketch you drew from memory. An archivist who refuses to look you in the eye and says very quietly, "Some families have ruled this city for 400 years. Not governments, not corporations, older than both." And her, you ask. He chooses his words the way you'd choose your footing on a cliff edge. She doesn't rule, he says. She simply is. The rest of them arrange themselves around her accordingly. You walk home through streets that suddenly feel different, every shadow slightly more deliberate, every pair of eyes at a window slightly more aware. You go home, you lock the door. It doesn't make you feel safer. You understand now that it wouldn't. She's in your apartment, not hiding, not threatening, just present, sitting in the chair by the window, one leg crossed over the other, looking out at the city like she built it. Maybe she did. You looked for me, she says, not a question. Your heart is doing something it shouldn't. You keep your voice steady. You knew I would. She turns to look at you then. Really look at you. And for a moment, just a moment, something flickers across her face that isn't calculation. She suspected, she says. I wasn't certain. Is that why you came back? A pause, long enough to mean something. Go to sleep, she says. I'll be gone before morning. You don't ask her to stay. You're not ready to say it yet. You go to your bedroom and lie down and listen to the silence of someone still in your home, and you sleep better than you have in weeks. In the morning, she's gone. On the windowsill, there's a single black feather that wasn't there before. You keep it. She comes back, not every night, not on any pattern you can identify. You stop trying to predict it and start simply noticing. The way she sits in silences like they're comfortable things. The way she watches you read without saying anything for an hour and seems somehow content. The way her hand once brushed yours when you handed her a glass of water she didn't need and neither of you moved away.
She doesn't tell you things. She allows you to ask. There's a difference with her. Does it hurt, you ask one night, being what you are? She considers this for longer than you expected. Not anymore, she says. Then quieter. It did for the first century. You don't say anything. You understand somehow that this is the most honest thing she's said to anyone in a very long time. You sit with it. She doesn't leave until dawn. There is one night, just one, when she is not composed. You don't know what happened. She won't tell you. She comes through the window in the small hours, and she sits on the floor with her back against the wall, and her eyes are closed, and she is very, very still. You sit beside her, not touching, just there. After a long time, she says, 400 years, and I still lose people I didn't expect to care about. You don't fill the silence with comfort.
You've learned she doesn't want that. You just stay. After another long time, she opens her eyes and looks at you sideways. You're not afraid of me, she says. No, you say. You should be. I know, you say. I've been told. For a moment, just a moment, the corner of her mouth moves. It isn't quite a smile, but it's the closest thing you've seen from her. And it does something irreversible to you. For 3 weeks, she's gone. Not a word, not a feather on the windowsill, nothing. You go about your life. You sleep, you eat, you move through your days with the mechanical efficiency of someone keeping themselves deliberately busy. You don't let yourself think about the scenarios. You make a rule of it. The rule doesn't work as well as you'd hoped. On the 19th night, you sit by the window she always uses, and you say to the empty air, I know you can probably hear this, or someone who reports to you can. I'm not asking for anything. I just want to know You stop. The city hums below. Indifferent. Enormous. Old. I just want to know, you say. She comes back on the 22nd night. She's different. You notice immediately. A tension in the set of her shoulders that wasn't there before. Something behind her eyes that is harder, newer, colder. She's been in a fight. Not a human fight. Something else. You don't ask. You get up and you bring her a glass of water she still doesn't need, and you set it in front of her, and you sit across from her, and you wait. She looks at the water for a long time. I had to protect something, she says finally. Did you? Yes.
Are you okay? She looks up at you, and this time the flicker on her face isn't so brief. This time it stays for a moment. This time it looks almost like something human. That's the second time you've asked me that, she says. I know, you say. I'll keep asking. You understand somewhere in the geography of your chest what this is. Loving her isn't safe. It was never going to be safe. She has 4 centuries of survival and strategy and controlled distance, and somewhere in all of that, you found something she had put down a very long time ago and forgotten about. Something soft, something she hadn't meant to leave where it could be found. She knows what you found. She hasn't asked for it back. You think that might be the bravest thing you've ever seen. You could leave. You could walk out of this city and find a simpler life and sleep through the night without listening for a window that makes no sound when it opens. You don't. She's at the window when you come home, but this time she's facing inside. This time she's waiting for you. And something in the way she stands, something in the quality of the stillness is different from every other time. She looks at you when you walk in. You look at her. There are things, she says slowly, that I haven't told you. I know, you say. They complicate this. I know that too. She watches you cross the room. She doesn't move. She doesn't breathe. She never needs to. But the stillness has a different texture now. Something waiting in it. You stop in front of her. Tell me, you say. She reaches out. Her fingers, cool, precise, deliberate, close around your injured hand. She holds it. She doesn't let go. Neither do you. You already know how this ends. You just can't make yourself walk away.